like all our horses, like Tower of London, Point Lonsdale, they all failed the vet to go down under last year. So none of them were passed. So it's a little bit ridiculous, really. The scans that they have to do are kind of over the top. And like those horses, as everyone can see, raced in Dubai, they raced in Saudi, they raced in Qatar, all through the winter, and they didn't pass.
A few moments later.
G'day World Wide Web, Lew Dub of Staying the Distance, and it's official. Aidan O'Brien's undefeated 3-year-old Jan Brueghel has been cancelled by the VRC and their woke veterinary protocols. The news came through yesterday, and the word was that he was at heightened risk of injury, Jan Brueghel. And so if you've put your money on him since early September when the Melbourne Cup nominations first came out, you've done your money, you've done your dough. Very bad, very disappointing. I'd calculated him as the winner of the race. Fortunately for me, I hadn't put any bets on him, but in other news, I still have plans to provide a Melbourne Cup preview. I hope to have that out on Sunday afternoon, but that may be cancelled if I get a call from my doctor saying, Lou, you're at heightened risk of injury. You shouldn't go out and do your Melbourne Cup preview. So don't forget, the Breeders' Cup event is happening in the US this weekend, and if you're like me and a bit jaded by the VRC, you can have a bet on those races. Sunday morning on the east coast of Australia, you'll be seeing the key races: the Breeders' Cup Turf, the Breeders' Cup Fillies and Mares, and the Breeders' Cup Classic. It's going to be very interesting with Aidan O'Brien's runner City of Troyes racing on the dirt, and apparently that's going to be his last race. Now let's take a look at the latest order of entry, and keep in mind Via Sistina is out as well, and so from Vauban onwards you can move them all up one number. So Vauban is actually 3. To my surprise, Just Fine is still in the list. He was dismal in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup last week. Zardozi, she's still in the list. The big movers last weekend were Akita Sushi and One Smooth Operator. They're now at 16 and 17. They're short of a spot in the Cup, though there is still a $49,000 payment due on Saturday this week. I was right about interpretation. He's got into the field and they've not won a race along the way. It's mostly cloudy as well. He looks like he's got into the field. His last start was a bit disappointing. The performance in the Bart Cummings. A lot riding on the Bendigo Cup today. Okay, now for news on jockeys, and the latest confirmations are that Damien Lane has been booked for Kovalica. The map will have Rachel King on board, and Jamie Carr will pilot Akita Sushi. I like that partnership. She's a good judge of pace, and Akita Sushi should be somewhere near the front throughout. On the Bendigo Cup, here is the entire field. Most of the Bendigo Cup runners are no longer targeting the Melbourne Cup. In red, though, we have 3 horses that are still nominated for the Cup and need to do something special to get into the 24-horse field. Sea King and Whiskey on the Hill must win. La Donda V can make the Melbourne Cup with a finish in the first 3. Knight's Choice, highlighted in green, is already in the 24-horse field. Of course, Connections still need to make that $49,000 payment on Saturday. Here's a look at the latest odds, and congratulations to the bookies who took bets on Via Sistina after her win on Saturday, and now she's out. They've made a killing, especially when you add the money they would have taken for Jan Brueghel as well. Anti-post or futures betting is very dangerous. That's why it's best to take the path of Melbourne Cup Max and stick with $5 bets, or as he calls them, cappuccino bets, if you're doing futures. Anyway, Buggeroo is now joint favourite with One Smooth Operator. Both those horses displayed a blistering turn of foot over the latter stages of their last race, the Caulfield Cup for Buggeroo and the Geelong Cup for One Smooth Operator. Last year's favourite Vauban is now $7. Gee, it's a weak field looking through that. Land Legend, who was respectable in the Caulfield Cup, is $13. Akita Sushi is $17. He's definitely found form. And out at 50 to 1, it's St. George, who is not guaranteed to start. Muramasa and Athabascan also at 50 to 1, and them two weren't bad in their last starts.
And okay, that is the Melbourne Cup news on a very disappointing day. As I said before, I had calculated Jan Brueghel as the winner of this year's Melbourne Cup. We're now without the biggest draw card. Was it an act of revenge? Well,